Popular features throughout the years in all types of racing has been a question of the week. And here is Marty with this week's question here at IHRA.
One word that would best describe the sensation you feel when you leave that starting line.
Wow.
Why?
It's the next best thing to sex.
There's just no way to describe it that I can think of.
Seems like a blur, you know.
Well, no, when it runs a 60 run, you know, it's like getting on one of those real steep roller coaster rides and magnifying it about 100 times. It's a pretty good ride.
Probably the first initial feeling when I hit the throttle and it pins me in the seat and leaves the way it does on a good one is awesome.
Exhilarating.
I'd have to say awesome.
Just fantastic.
It's dynamite.
There's just nothing else like it. I just can't describe it.
It's the best feeling in the world. It's kind of like riding a roller coaster and coming down that deep, off the deep end of the roller coaster. It just kind of takes your breath momentarily.
I feel great.
Oh, it's unreal.
Awesome. Had a 6.206. Next up will be Tom the Mongoose McCuen against Wayne Minik. And we also asked Tom McCuen about some of the changes that he would like to see in this very expensive but very exciting game of pro funny car racing.
Well, the one thing I'd like to see is not so many national events. I think that, you know, I'm running 28 this year, and it's, you know, we're almost running almost every week during the summertime. It's just too much for keeping the parts and the crew from being wore out and everything, and I'd like to see them stagger them and not have quite so many national events if possible.
Well, Wayne Minik is a 24-year-old from Chicago, Illinois, actually Justice, Illinois, and he's up against, from Fountain Valley, California, Tom McCuen, 49-year-old competitor.
Minik in his Dodge Daytona and McCuen in a Corvette. Of course, Minik, the Chi-Town hustler, famous match race car, and the Coors Vet, as I like to call it, with Mongoose at the controls.
Minik is in the 1978 IHRA Winston Championship car. They begin to stage them. The green comes on.
You can see Mongoose is breaking loose, but I still think he's going to get him, Bob.
Good race for Tom the Mongoose McCuen. A lot of tire smoke, and the car almost broke loose, but McCuen comes up with a win, a 6.147 against a 62.59 for Wayne Minik. And let's look at it once again.
You know, Minik has got to be disappointed because as he gets about halfway down the strip, a little bit before this replay, McCuen looked like he was all over. It looked like it was done for, but he wasn't able to really make way for Minik.
Well, Scott Kalitta going up against Kenny Bernstein here in this next race we present for you. We asked Kalitta about relaxing between rounds.
I try to stay involved in it as much as I can. The races where we just run the funny car, I don't have to do very much at all. But when we run both cars, I work just as much as anybody else.
Well, Scott also has his work cut out for him because he's up against Kenny Bernstein, and we asked Kenny about changes he would like to see in pro funny car.
I'd like to really see, honestly, a combination of a world championship, a Winston World Championship, where there's really one true champion, not an IHRA champion and an NHRA champion. So there's a lot of things that I think would be beneficial for the sport to happen as time progresses, and hopefully it's going that way.
He's in the Motorcraft Ford, and he won at Milan earlier this year. Can he beat Scott Kalitta? Yes! Bernstein moves into the semis.
Kalitta gave it all that he could, but Bernstein has cranked off a 5.8. His reaction time was slowed down to 0.314. And in the last round, he had a Cobra-like reaction at the line where he reacted at 0.132. Now, his average speed this time around is 247.9, almost 248 miles per hour. Not what you'd call astronomical, but certainly when you match it up with his reaction time and his ET, he moves up the next rung in the ladder.
Well, Kenny has a very good record on ESPN. We'll see if that can continue this weekend. We'll be back with more of the popular Hot Rodding Nationals from Martin, Michigan, right after this. Buddy Burkett, the winner of Pro Alcohol Funny Cars. Now moving to the Pro Funny Cars, and it's Kenny Bernstein against Mark Oswald. Oswald defeated Tom McCuen in the semis, and Kenny Bernstein defeated Tim Gross.
The classic matchup, the young man from the Cincinnati, Ohio area, Mark Oswald, there in the Kennys and Hughes old Milwaukee car, against Kenny Bernstein. Just a pitch for Dale Pauldee. I miss him. Pauldee really belongs in drag racing, really belongs in funny cars. He has been one of the top 4 guns in funny car racing the last couple of seasons, and boy, we sure miss him. But Bernstein and Oswald, the men of 1986. As Kenny told you, the rubber match. They've each won twice.
Kenny is in the far lane and Oswald in the near lane. Let's see what happens. Green light goes on. Kenny with the hole shot, smoking.
I guess that's what's called smoking them off. Something happening to Oswald as less than halfway down the strip, he shut off. Bernstein with another 5.77 to be exact. 257 miles an hour. You heard Bernstein saying that they were looking for those 255 plus miles per hour because they've been down a little bit on miles per hour. But when you have those low ETs, when the car sustains itself all the way down the strip, and you get a reaction time well under a third of a second, the miles per hour are important, but they're just not paramount.
Just another proof that Kenny is the king, and he has got to wish that all IHRA events are televised because his winning percentage on ESPN is just tremendous. Marty Reed with the winner, Kenny Bernstein.
Tell you what, up underneath that helmet, another victory. I tell you what we ought to do is just give you the championship before we go on the air.
Oh, I don't know about that. Mark Oswald and Kenny's always tough, and we've had a good year against each other, that's for sure. But I'll tell you what, we sure like ESPN. I think this is 7 out of 9 events that you've covered and we've won, so maybe you guys ought to cover all the events we race.
You ran a 577, 257 miles an hour, so you were getting both ends of it here.
Well, it came around the last round with Dale and the guys, and they made some moves on the car that helped. We were a little worried with all the downtime here this afternoon. It might hurt it, but it didn't. It got loose again, but it still responded and went down the racetrack, and that's what it's all about. So I think it'll be okay for the rest of the season. We'd have to stay after it now.
What about the lanes after that oil down right before the finals in the right side?
Well, there's no doubt about it that the right lane couldn't be any better. It wasn't the best lane all day, and I'm sure that didn't help the situation for Mark and the guys over there. But it's the advantage we had with the Budweiser King Motorcraft Tempo was to have the lane choice, and that's what you fight for.
Well, good luck again as you
Thanks
continue to thunder along.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Way to go,
our
guys.
Congratulations from the booth to Kenny Bernstein, the winner in Pro Funny Cars, to Buddy Burkett, the winner in Pro Alcohol Funny Cars, and Ricky Smith, our Pro Stock Champion.